Morning, everyone. Today I will be presenting my magistrate lecture, and before we can begin, I would like everyone here to be pondering the question: what does it mean to be truly alive and become beings of pure essence?
Have you ever considered that for every impure action, there's also actions that come from the purest of hearts? That the countless possibilities lies in the stars, and what we hope to accomplish with our morality and our difficulties beyond what is even possible. To start with, let's begin defining what is incorruptibility. To summarize, incorruptibility refers to the quality or state of being unable to decay, deteriorate, or undergo corruption. This asks the question of what makes the body incorruptible and how does it lead to a state of sainthood. For my first main point, the soul is described as that by which a living thing achieves its unified existence, serving as the necessary source of its actuality. Unlike a mere what, the soul is a real principle that contributes to the unity and essence of a living entity, and of itself is the driving force for a human being to exist. For my secondary main point, St. Thomas Aquinas believes that the soul lives independently from the body. It exists solely beyond the mortal body where it can't be tainted with its limitations, allowing it to transcend and even going beyond death. Why does it matter if it's independent? This is where we discover that instead of it existing inside, it's basically two people stuck together into one body. In the journey toward sainthood, aligning with one's faith entails transcending natural limitations. This involves striving to embody the virtues and ideals upheld by one's belief system, whether it be religious, spiritual, or ethical. It's about aspiring to a higher standard of morality and righteousness, surpassing the constraints of mere human existence. However, this path is not without its challenges. It's often filled with thorns and adversaries that seek to undermine our very essence. These obstacles can come in various forms: temptations that lead us astray, doubts that cloud our judgment, or conflicts that test our resolve. Going through these challenges is akin to pointing the direction in a foggy path. It requires clarity of purpose, inner strength, and unwavering faith. But amidst the fog and uncertainty, is it possible to avoid inevitable wrongdoings? While we strive for perfection, we must acknowledge our inherent limitations. Our morality, with its fragility and impermanence, reminds us of our own human nature. It is our finite understanding and imperfect knowledge constrain our ability to properly discern the absolute right from the absolute wrong. For the objections, in the first part is that the mind is the most difficult thing to understand without having a necessary comparison. We base our entire knowledge upon facts, so it is difficult to say that the soul came to existence suddenly without cause, which then begs the question of its truth. Does the soul truly exist? Aquinas' philosophy struggles to explain how the immaterial intellectual soul can exist without a material body, ultimately necessitating a bodily resurrection in his conception of the afterlife. His psychology faces challenges in accounting for the transmission of universals, from material objects to the intellect, and it cannot fully accommodate the concept of causal closure, which suggests that mental events must have physical causes. The second objection is that St. Thomas Aquinas says the soul's incorruptibility is based on philosophical principles. One of these principles are that nothing can be separated from itself and the immateriality of the human intellect. However, he faces difficulty in affirming the soul's continued existence after death without relying on theological assertions about the provision of alternatives to phantasms for the soul's vital activity in a separated state. The third objection is that, in terms of Christianity, Hindu, and Platonic philosophy, all of them mention life after death, a place where the soul can go. The idea of being a saint entirely then depends upon what one's to be about. It is not limited to one section only. It might be easy to become influenced towards the ideas of transcending, whether in reincarnation, going to heaven, or a temporary place for the soul. In conclusion, the incorruptibility of the body, leading to sainthood, is rooted in the belief that our inner essence, or soul, is eternal and separate from our physical form. In simple terms, it means that who we are on the inside does not decay or perish like our bodies do. Sainthood then is achieved by living a life guided by goodness, kindness, and faith, which allows our eternal essence to shine through. This belief is often tied to the idea that one day, our bodies will be resurrected in a perfect state, free from the limitations and flaws of earthly life. So being corruptible means striving for goodness in this life with hope of an eternal reward in the next. That would be all for my presentation. Thank you all for listening.